Oh geez. Okay. Oh me, oh my. I am so excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. You knew. Did I tell you I knew? Did you know? You knew I'd get one of these eventually, didn't you? Yep. 2-axis. But why? Well, the old race slash needed a rebuild. And this GM2 gimbal, I love it, by the way, if you want to know. If you want a spoiler alert, really good, okay? Now, if you don't know, I've used a bunch of gimbals a bunch of times for a bunch of years, and I've had a bunch of success, but there's still some things that I can't do with the other stuff that I have, which is Storm 32. Really, never mind. It doesn't matter anymore because these gimbals from Caddx XF or XH robotics are really nice. They don't do everything, but they do what you need. So, yeah, pure ramble. Just pretty pleased. Montage. There's some running video later, but this is just me getting her set up and figuring out the wiring and bench testing. So coming from Storm 32, I was a little perplexed. I was like, oh, there's no setup required. What if I want to dangle this thing upside down, which is how I'm gonna mount it? Will it work? Yep, it works. Okay. What about if I want to mount it right side up? Do I have to change a setting? Nope, you just plug it in, or you just flip it over. It just works. So it works in any orientation. Amazing. And that unlocks crashing and rolling powers, which is fantastic. So I can now, go around and crash my car and just keep driving if it lands on its wheels. I don't have to reset or wait or anything. So super pleased. I was able to get good results stability wise by the second drive with this thing, and you'll see in the pictures and whatever, I've got these stupid weights attached to the front of the camera, and that's because it wasn't balancing quite right. So like I've harped on about a billion times, the gimbal needs to be balanced on each axis for it to really work as best as it can. So I don't know, I'm kind of using a camera that's not a proper camera for this. I bought the Caddx unit and it's for walk snail, but I've got DJI, but the cable in it worked for my Vista and Caddx Nebula Pro camera. So, doesn't make a difference. All it's got is what you're buying is the best camera cable ever. So yeah, anyways, it plugged straight in, and Vista and Caddx Nebula Pro just work right off the bat, besides that little balance issue. So yeah, I added a bit of weight to the camera lens, just a couple grams will do it, and it started working better. It worked, the first run without that stuff, it was kind of jumping around a little bit, and then I added this weight on, and it smoothed it out a huge amount. So yeah, so we still need to balance our gimbals. No problem. I'll come up with a more refined solution for this. As well, yeah, I didn't use the silly rubber vibration damping ball thingers to mount the gimbal. I don't think you need them. I think they cause more problems than they solve. Honestly, they'd rip right out. My gimbal would be flung, inside the it'd be like ejected from the car. You know, like I don't want to use this thing slow. I want to go fast. So that's what I set out to test. And I hadn't seen anyone else really test it before as well. It was news to me that it would just work. The Caddx gimbal would work with the DJI old camera stuff. So, you know, maybe when you're watching a guy who gets sent a gimbal by Caddx, they don't bother saying that. You know, as well, they all have mounted them on crawlers and slow stuff because, you know, I mean, it's fun. I do that too, but what I want to do with it is race. Like, let's go super fast off-road. And it's holding up to it, so, I mean, one run in, right? Just one run in, but it survived it. So, will it break eventually? Maybe. But right now, we've got one really pretty hard rip on her. And you know, it's ready, still ready for more, so far so good, right? Okay, so I was able to hack together like a programming cable for this as well, and maybe we'll talk about that in a different video, but to be honest, once I got into the programming, it wasn't like super interesting what you can do in the setup software, and it's pretty cool actually. Most of like you have good like control through your transmitter over a couple settings. Like you can change the working mode, so whether it's like in FPV mode where the camera follows the orientation of the car, or whether it's horizon locked, you can change that from your remote. You can also change let's see, you can change like the amount of stabilizing it does, which is kind of interesting how they've done it, because it both, if you turn it up for more stability, the gimbal will use more range of motion, and it'll also move towards the orientation of the chassis more slowly. So I'd kind of like to be able to adjust those two things separately, but you know, for what it's worth, it does work really well, and it's pretty cool. You can adjust it from the transmitter. Also on this 2-axis, you have pitch control, so you can just ask it to look up and down. And yeah, I'd kind of like to see roll control, honestly. Like, there's still like a 4th wire coming out the back. Like, there's 4 PWM signals coming out of the back of the gimbal. So the 4th one is, you know, on their little getting started guide, they indicate that that's for yaw, but obviously a 2-axis gimbal doesn't have any yaw. So it would be cool if there was roll on there, because you could sort of tweak your roll in case you have like Dutch angles or whatever, like you want your horizon level or you want car level, anyways. But really, so far haven't needed much of that adjustment. I do like playing with the sensitivity settings, so yeah. So in case my ramble was unclear, you get from the remote, you can change your working mode, so either FPV or horizon lock, right? And you can change your gimbal stability amount. You can change the pitch angle, and if you got a 3-axis, well, you can change your yaw, so just sort of pointing the camera more directly. So yeah, there you go. It's pretty cool, and yeah, so far so good. We'll do more riding on this with increasing violence until something bad happens, maybe. Or it just keeps working. But yeah, being able to roll over and keep running means I'm going to lose a lot fewer races, because it used to be that I'd have to, you know, run the perfect race, no rolls, because if I rolled over, I'd be sitting on the sidelines for like 30 seconds to a minute waiting for my gimbal to reset, and that's just not a thing with these Caddx ones. So well done, Caddx. Thank you for making it compatible with the old DJI stuff and not telling us. And yeah, looking forward to getting this puppy out, blah, blah, blah. Okay, ciao.